Come July 1st, Brock Besser will be an Edmonton Oiler, Mitch Marner will be a Vegas Golden Knight, and Sidney Crosby will be the newest member of the Colorado Avalanche. And here's why. Starting with Sidney Crosby. It's no secret, he's best buds with Nathan MacKinnon. If they had the option to play with each other, I really think Sidney Crosby would consider it. Like we saw at this year's Four Nations Face-Off, these two were inseparable. Both of them also chose to represent Canada at the World Championships as well, and these two meet up every off-season to train, make Timmy's commercials, and talk hockey. Based off how close they are, you know for a fact Nathan MacKinnon is doing his best to try and pursue the kid to Colorado. So that's one reason, and that may not even be the biggest reason. Look, the Penguins just missed out on the playoffs for a third straight year. The core is getting up there, and no matter what Dubas does to keep the core intact, I don't think it's even close to being good enough to make this team compete in the playoffs. They're already trying to figure out how to trade Erik Karlsson. I know Crosby wants to be a lifelong Penguin, but if management goes to him and says, look, this is probably where we're headed, Crosby, being the competitive freak that he is, I feel like would much rather go out swinging than be on a bottom feeder team. Especially if the team is willing to move on from him instead of him moving on from the team. And what better place to go than a team that is still in their championship window, the Colorado Avalanche. Not to mention Kevin Weekes has been hinting at something big on Twitter, and I guess George Laraque is trying to be an insider now. But if you were to ask me what are the chances of this happening, I'd say more likely than not.
Descartes de hockey.
And guys, just quickly, if you are new to the channel, drop a comment down below as I interact with every single one. If you don't believe me, just give it a go. It is the sponsored segment of the video brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca. So I give a shout out to the most liked comment in my previous video. So drop down a comment. Do you think any of these are realistic? If it gets the most likes, I will be giving it a shout out in my next video. Okay, with that being said, let's get back into this bad boy. Next up, Mitch Marner heading to the Golden Knights. This just makes so much sense to me. I can already see Marner in the Golden Knights jersey. Should we be surprised at this point? Like, really? The Golden Knights just keep on winning and it's kind of getting annoying. Let's just start with the fact that where would you want to resign when you've been harassed by the media and fan base since joining the league? You probably want to get as far away from that as possible. Probably a place that's sunny, where you can walk around and only get noticed at about a 50% rate, if that, compared to where you were before, and a place that has no state tax. Yeah, I'd be shocked if Marner didn't sign in Vegas. Not to mention Darren Dreger is already speculating it. The Vegas Golden Knights have been acting fishy on social media as of late. I am far more confident in this one than the Crosby one. Every angle I look at it, it really just makes sense to me. So yeah, I Charles Barkley guarantee this is going to happen. And if I'm wrong, make sure you tell me about it in about a week or so. Just think about it. Like, if you're Mitch Marner, it all starts with just being in Toronto, being harassed by the fans. Like, you are in one of the meccas of hockey, Toronto and Montreal, right? Like, it would be so frustrating being on a underperforming team since day one, since you've joined the league, and not doing anything and just getting criticized about it from the fans and especially the media, right? So where do you go? Where would you want to go? Where everyone else goes? Yeah, you want to head down south. You want to get away from that. So it makes sense. Obviously, Vegas would have to make the money work, but I really could see this one happening. I guarantee it's going to happen. Mitch Marner, the newest Vegas Golden Knight. You heard it here first on Above Average, okay? We're breaking news here, okay? You listen to me? Anyway. And last but not least, guys, if you made it this far, we're talking about the soon-to-be Edmonton Oiler Brock Besser. So why does this make sense? First and foremost, if you don't know, I happen to work with some pretty cool people up here in Edmonton, and one of our shows that I highly recommend you check out airs every Saturday from 10 to 12 Mountain Time called Hello Hockey. With Sean Bell and Tom Gazzola, their weekly insider, David Pagnotta, he's just as good as any insider out there. This week, when asked if he thinks Besser is a realistic target for the Edmonton Oilers, he said, yes.
Yes or no answer via the nasty chat. Do you think Brock Besser is a realistic target for the Oilers?
Yes.
Okay.
Vancouver, if you know what they're doing, please let me know, so that I can let them know, because I'm not sure they know. All this crap about the circling back on Brock Besser, no. Brock's got a few choice words for them. that I can't say on this program.
And I'll put a link in the description if you want to check them out. I highly recommend you do. But he essentially said Brock has a few choice words for the Canucks, so there's no way in hell he's re-upping with the Canucks. He's done with Vancouver. He's gone. Which makes me think, if things went sour with the team that drafted you, what better way to get revenge on them than to sign with a rival team, which is exactly what I think he'll do. I strongly believe the Oilers will be going heavy to try and sign Brock. He would fit in ever so nicely in the top 6. Leon Draisaitl would hopefully and finally have a winger to play with. But with that being said, I think it would be a 1 or 2 year deal just so Brock can really boost up his numbers before he signs long-term elsewhere. This again just makes so much sense to me, and I would not be surprised one bit if Brock does in fact become an Edmonton Oiler. And yeah, I mean, I would really like this. Does he drive the play? Not really. He's more of a trigger guy, just watching his play over the last few seasons. But he's got a great shot. He is, when he's on. Obviously, there is the injury stuff that he has to deal with. But 2 years ago, he was able to pot 40 goals, and I mean, things were really working out for the Vancouver Canucks that season. I think that was his career year for sure. Who's to say he can't do that on Leon Draisaitl's line? And I know there's the worry, people said Victor Arvidsson was supposed to be that guy. Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, that didn't work out. I don't know. Like it's a betting game. You have to think that a player of his caliber would be able to work with Leon Draisaitl, and if it doesn't work with Leon, well, okay, you're going up to the first line to play with Connor McDavid, and then you bring Zach Hyman down to the second line. Zach and Leon have kind of showed some success. So regardless, it's a winger. He is a legit winger. I've been big on Brock Besser since he joined the league. I remember the rookie year that year, him and Barzal. I remember I made a bet with my buddy that he was going to score 30 goals. And what was the bet? I think we bet on a flat of beer. It was a big bet, a big thing of beer we were betting on. And I remember he got 29, goddammit, and he was injured in the last 2 games of the season. I think that's what ended up happening. But yeah, he got injured. He got 29 goals. It still haunts me. That would have been good. I would have enjoyed that beer. So yeah, it just makes sense to me. It really does. Obviously, kind of like the Vegas Golden Knights, and for all these teams, they're gonna have to, be a little bit creative with the cap. They're gonna have to make the money work. I don't think the Oilers would, it would kind of be a friendly deal. I feel like Brock Besser if he came to Edmonton, but that's why I say if he does come to Edmonton, I think he could find more money elsewhere. But I think he comes to Edmonton, it's like a 1 year deal, a 2 year deal. He makes, crazy good numbers. He has career highs, and then he goes and F's off down to the States, and maybe Minnesota he ends up going. And then he'll really be able to cash in. So I think it would be a 1 or 2 year deal, and he'd come to Edmonton with the sole purpose on getting revenge to his former team and trying to boost Leon and kind of trying to boost his numbers up so he can get more money in the long run. So that is my thoughts, guys. What do you think? I really do think that there's some legitimacy to these, rumors. I really believe it. It all makes sense to me. It really does. So I know I came out and said at the beginning of this video, this in fact will happen. Who knows? I mean, I don't really know. I'm, taking a shot out there. I like the chances. I think I'm 80% convinced that these will happen. And that's a big number. So I really like to think that these will happen. If you don't believe me, if you don't think so, well, drop a comment down below and feel free to let me hear it in about a week, because we'll know where these guys are going. I will say for sure, for the one thing, if Crosby gets traded, if he ends up going to Colorado, I think that'll be the last one that happens. Obviously, he still has term with Pittsburgh. I really think if the season goes kind of south, then he might get traded to Colorado. That's the one that I think it's going to take a little while to see. So I don't think July 1st will be the day that Sidney Crosby becomes Colorado Avalanche. But I think the chances of him going are pretty high. And if it does happen, it'll probably be at the trade deadline or kind of maybe in December, right? That's my thoughts there. So if you made it this far, guys, thanks for all the continued support. Be sure to leave a like, and like I said, drop a comment down below, because it is that time of the video where I highlight the most liked comment in my previous video, brought to you by www.timetrackers.ca, where they work around the clock for you. If you want a nice clock like this, they got clocks of all sizes. Go check them out. Again, www.timetrackers.ca. It's an Alberta-based company, clocks all over Canada. Check them out. And it is that time of the video. The most liked comment in my previous video. Shout out at Selly999. Like this if you think Trevor looks like the Pringles guy. Well, I did. The mustache is gone now, but I can see it. Okay, I can see it. He's a pretty cool dude. I like this comparison as there's been a few that I don't like, but this is a good one. I like this. So shout out to Selly999. I really appreciate it. Again, drop a comment down below. What do you guys think? And really appreciate all the support, guys. Let's see if we can get this video to maybe 300 likes, 400 likes. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. So really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Lots of things coming this week. It's going to be a busy week, so I will be on it. And yeah, I'll see you on a screen near you in the near future. I'm YouTube Trev. Thanks for all the continued support. Don't be average when you can be above average. Peace.